Well, moving on to more local news, several people were injured when a locomotive collided with a train which had stopped near the Ambepussa railway station. General Manager of the Department of Railways, BAP Aryaratna, said that the train had stopped near the railway station awaiting signals to move on. Aryaratna said a locomotive which had been following the train had collided with it. A spokesperson for the Mirigama hospital said 5 persons who were injured in the incident are receiving treatment at the hospital.
Currently, over 70% of the country's power generation is done through hydropower plants. Therefore, electricity consumers question as to why the fuel surcharge that was added to the electricity bill last year is not removed.
The government took steps to impose a fuel surcharge on the electricity bill in February last year until further notice. This step was taken in order to minimize the losses suffered by relying mainly on crude oil for power generation. The fuel surcharge is 25% for consumers whose monthly electricity consumption is below 30 units, 35% for those who use between 30 and 60 units, and 40% if the electricity consumption is over 60 units. Due to the rainy weather conditions we are experiencing, hydropower is at a maximum level of 80%. This is important because before the rains were experienced in November, the hydroelectricity level was below 18% due to the drought. Therefore, fuel had to be imported. But we have overcome this situation and we consider 2013 to be a positive year. Although hydropower generation has exceeded 70%, the fuel surcharge is yet to be removed. When News First made inquiries, the chairman of the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, Dr. Jayatissa Di Costa, said that the commission has not reached a decision on revising prices.
Now, Hindus around the world celebrate the holy festival of Thai Pongal today. Traditionally celebrated at harvest time, Hindus celebrate the prosperity associated with the harvest by thanking the sun god, the rain and farm animals that have helped yield the harvest.
According to the Hindu calendar, the first month of the year is known as Thai, while Pongal refers to the dawn. Therefore, Thai Pongal is known as the dawn of the new year. A special ritual which takes place during Thai Pongal is the offering of the first portion of the new harvest to the sun god. The Hindus believe that the path ahead is made clear with the dawn of the new year, and thereby this festival, which is done in conjunction with nature, is of great significance to Hindu devotees. With the rising of the sun, Hindu devotees engaged in religious activities to celebrate Thai Pongal today. The tradition where rice from the new harvest, syrup from a new stick of sugarcane, milk rice made with the use of cow's milk and turmeric are given as offering to the sun is an important tradition adhered during Thai Pongal.
Meanwhile, the President, Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition issued special messages in view of Thai Pongal.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa in his Thai Pongal message said that the festival, which is marked by peace and harmony, has become a very important event, particularly in the wake of permanent peace and harmony restored in Sri Lanka. The President added that he hopes Thai Pongal will bring peace and prosperity to Sri Lankan Tamils as well as to the entire population in the world. Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratna in his Thai Pongal message said that the festival brings families together in a spirit of renewed affection and understanding. He added that the festival marks a renewal of the strong links between humans and nature and unity of people and communities. Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe in his Thai Pongal message said that the festival highlights the importance of peace and gratefulness. He added that everyone should pledge on this day to give importance to peace and harmony in this country. General Secretary of the Citizens Front, Parliamentarian J. Sri Ranga, says that he wishes for peace and happiness to be bestowed upon all those celebrating Thai Pongal across the world. He also says that he will pray that those who are facing difficulties will have their problems resolved with the dawn of the month of Thai. The MP says that on this holy day he wishes that the anger and hatred within people will be replaced by gratitude and unity.
Meanwhile, Hindus across the island celebrated Thai Pongal, giving priority to religious observances.
Religious observances were held at the Sri Ponnambalavaneswara Kovil in Kochikade, Colombo. People from the estate celebrated Thai Pongal with religious observances at the Sri Manika Pillayar Hindu Kovil in Hatton. Thai Pongal was also celebrated at the Bogambara prison in Kandy. And up next is a look at Action TV.
The 1000 Secondary Schools program is another extension of a World Bank initiative for equal education. A day after the new term commenced this year, it was announced that 14 selected schools would be removed from this program. The subject minister said the decision to remove the 14 schools, including the SWRD Bandaranaike National School in Kundasale, from the program was arrived at due to protests carried out by parents. When I am informed about locations where large-scale protests are held, then we inform the zonal education directors to hold discussions and inform them that such a project is not taking place and ask them to go back to school. Then the problem is easily resolved. In spite of the minister's views, the points raised by the Central Province Additional Education Director at the SWRD Bandaranaike National School on the 2nd of this month to calm protesting parents goes to show that let alone zonal education directors, even senior officials do not have a clear understanding of the 1000 Secondary Schools program. There are problems with the buildings. I will talk to the principal and move the children to higher ground temporarily. But it is only temporary. Please don't request that this be closed down completely, as there is no room here for more construction. We have been told that the land belonging to the Environment Authority will be given for this purpose. A promise was made. What I would like to ask as a person who studied here and as the president of the Past Pupils Association who worked towards moving the primary section to higher ground is that the people left this building and moved to higher ground because we saw the danger in this land. This school was at the verge of being closed. Neither teachers nor students came here. So why are you endangering the children by moving the primary section back here? Parents were made to voice their protest regarding the addition of this school to the 1000 Secondary Schools program because the primary section of the school was moved to an unsafe and unsecure location as a result. The true problem surrounding the national school in Kundasale is not whether it is included in the 1000 Secondary Schools program. The actual problem is that through such inclusions, the primary section would be moved to a location which had been abandoned several years ago by primary students because of the lack of safety. Although the school has been removed from the program, the attempts to move the primary section to this unsecure and dangerous location have not ceased. The parents have made it clear that their children's safety is more important to them than their school being included in a program. Against this backdrop, for what purpose are the children being subject to further stress when the primary section of the school can easily be re-established at its prior location? Governor of the Central Province, this one is over to you.
A price crisis in the Mardagahamula rice wholesale market. The wholesale price matches the maximum retail price. We ask the government to please impose a maximum wholesale price like the maximum retail price. A problem has cropped up since the government has insufficient wholesale stocks and prices are rising. If according to the Mardagahamula wholesalers, this problem has been caused by the insufficient paddy stocks with the government, then the failure of authorities to pay attention to food security in the country is a problem.
The remains of former UMP Minister Festus Pereira, who passed away yesterday, have been brought to his residence in Venapur. 82-year-old Festus Pereira passed away while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo.
The remains of the late politician were brought to his residence in Venapur last night. A large number of people, including politicians, arrived at his residence today to pay their last respects.
Festus Pereira
The final rites of Honourable Minister Festus Pereira will be held at the Albert F. Pires Sports Grounds, Venapur on Wednesday, the 16th of January at 1 p.m. On behalf of the family, I am inviting everyone to come and pay their final respects. The Bishop of Chilau, Walton Mendes, also paid his last respects to Festus Pereira. The final rites will be conducted on Wednesday. The remains will be taken to the Sir Albert F. Peris Indoor Stadium at 1 p.m. on Wednesday for the public to pay their last respects. Thereafter, the remains will be taken to the St. Joseph's Church in Vennapur and the final rites will be performed at the Vennapur Catholic Burial Grounds at 4 p.m. The government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia says it regrets statements issued regarding the implementation of the court ruling against Sri Lankan domestic worker Rizana Nafiq.
Issuing a statement, the Saudi press agency says that it regrets statements by the UN Secretary General, Vice President of the European Commission and a number of foreign agencies and organizations. The Saudi press agency in its statement says that these statements draw false information about the case and are issued without full knowledge of the circumstances of the case itself. They first point out that allegations that the offender is a minor are incorrect. Such allegations are clearly and unequivocally refuted by her age. Her official passport shows that she was 21 years old at the time of committing the crime. As it is universally recognized, the passport is an official document issued by the Sri Lankan government. The statement further reads that the legal regulations of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia do not allow the recruitment of minors. The statement also notes that after the crime was legally proved, the state for its part made vigorous efforts at the highest level to persuade the child's parents to pardon Rizana Nafiq or accept blood money and waive their personal right. The release also reads that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia therefore categorically rejects any interference in its affairs or in the provisions of its judiciary under any jurisdiction under any justifications.